Hey everyone, I hope you're having a great day. It's nice and sunny here in Pocatello, and I hope that wherever you're at, you've been able to go outside and enjoy the nice weather today. Um, Last week, in a Bible study that I had for church, we talked about adoration. So I wanted to dig a little bit more into what adoration is and what it means with you guys today. So if you go to Mark chapter 12 with me, we're going to start in verse 28. In verse 28, it says, "One of the teachers of the law came and heard them debating. Noticing that Jesus had given them a good answer, he asked him, 'Of all the commandments, which is the most important?' 'The most important one,' answered Jesus, 'is this: Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your mind, and with all your strength. The second is this: Love your neighbor as yourself. There is no commandment greater than these.'" Now, this section of verses, mostly 30 and 31, sum up what adoration is. Let me explain. Adoration is more than just love and more than just worship. I can say I love nachos, but I can't say I adore nachos. Why? Because adoration is unrestrained, it's impractical, irreproachable, and unsurpassed. And adoration is internal and external. Here's what that means. Internal adoration is the place where everything else in life flows from. Everything internally must come from within, from your heart. And so when we begin to adore God, that has to be something that happens on the inside first. That's why the first commandment is to love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind and with all your strength. That's internal adoration of God. And the internal adoration of God is the difference between knowing about God and knowing God. When you know about God, you just know who He is. You've heard of Him. Maybe you follow some of the things that the Bible says. But when you know God and you know His heart, your heart begins to mirror His heart. And so the things that you do begin to mirror what God does and what His heart wants. And so when those things happen, then that's the physical representation of adoration. It's an external output of what's happening on the inside. And so that's the second part, is loving your neighbor as yourself. That's the external representation of your adoration for God. Because God loved you, and because you know God and know His heart for you, you want other people to know that. And so you're going to love other people the best way that you can, which is to love them like you love yourself. So that's adoration. So I just want to encourage you guys this week is to spend some time in worship and in prayer and in the Word, getting to know God. Not just knowing about God, but getting to know God. Because when you know God's heart and you know God's heart for other people, then that becomes a very intimate and fulfilling relationship, which everything else in your life will flow from. Just like I said, the internal things result in the external fruit. So we have a saying, Chi Alpha says, the deeper the root, the sweeter the fruit. So the more you dive into knowing God and spending time with God, the more you'll want to show that with other people, and the more other people will see God in you. So I just want to challenge you guys to spend some time with God this week and spend some time figuring out how to adore God. So I hope you guys have a great week, and I look forward to hearing your stories of your worship time and spending time in the Bible and what you learned about being in a posture of adoration. Thanks.